Hey guys, welcome back to Modern Golf. Hope you're having a great day and better week. I wore my lucky hat today for this video. So we had done a number of tests on putters so far this year. The Lab DF3, the Scotty Cameron that we've used, the 11 long, and certainly the new EvenRoll 8. But a lot of people didn't like, I won't say didn't like, they had a lot of feedback, let's say, with the EvenRoll and how it worked, and we tested it and did we like it and all that stuff. So what I wanted to do, which I thought would be the most simple thing to do, was to test all three of them at the same time with 4 different locations on the same hole. And this is just a practice green, so this is not like I went out and played 50 rounds with all 3 of them at the same time. But I put them 3 to 4 feet away and 8 to 10 feet away, and nothing was straight. So I'm going to tell you guys up front, there were 0 straight putts in this test. Again, 3 to 4 feet about, and then again 8 to about 12 feet. We had uphill, downhill, both breaking different ways, and then one breaking right, one breaking left. And so we had basically 6 putts per putter. And so I'm going to show you some footage here. And again, I was up there for it seemed like half my day testing these, and I probably hit, I think when we were counting 1,100 putts, something like that. I didn't count them all. We were getting tested. I know someone's going to mention it, so I'm going to let you know. Yes, I putted in Crocs because do you know what spikes do to these greens if you're on them all day long? So yes, I wear either sneakers sometimes or running shoes or my Crocs when I practice putting. So I'm going to show you some of the testing, and then I'm going to come back and then I'll kind of explain what did great with what putter, and then really what was our overall thoughts of all 3 of these putters. So now that you've seen the testing, and it's probably pretty boring, and you can see, boy, you were awful at putting. Easy. But so the results are this, and I'll put them up here. Within 4 feet, the Scotty Cameron 11 long was the best. And I think why that is, it's a heavier putter, a stiffer shaft, easier to kind of get that thing kind of go straight back, straight through. I know, and some of you are going to say, what about the DF3? For some reason, the results are the result, and I just think the Scotty Cameron, almost like the momentum is literally, it's much easier to kind of get it back and forth. The DF3, you can turn in your hands a little bit and still miss a putt, which obviously I did enough of. So the number, I think, and I'll put the numbers up here of the stats, and then the 8 to basically 12-foot putts. It was very close, but the DF3 was the best of all three. It beat the EvenRoll as well as the 11 long. I've played all three 10 rounds plus. So if you were to put a gun to my head and say which aspects and which parts of each putter do you like the most, I want to kind of explain this because this test is a good test, but it's not really the on-course test, which is what I've used. And I think I mentioned to you before, and I've mentioned a few times, the DF3 this year, I've had the lowest rounds of my entire life playing that putter. Now, what's interesting to me is the forgiveness factor with that. I feel like there's times I can hit it dead off the heel or the toe, and the putts still go in. So there is some magic to that putter. And again, I'm not being paid by Lab or anybody, but for some reason that putter just makes putts. The EvenRoll is probably my favorite aesthetics. I think it just, the black shaft, the black grip, the black head, it looks like it melts into the ground. I will say it's not nearly as soft as the DF3, but if I had to probably put a gun to my head today of like which style do I like, that one would certainly be it. I think the overall feel of all three, which ones do I like? I'm gonna say the Lab. As much as I like the Scotty Cameron, which I thought was really good, I think the Scotty Cameron with the heavier weight, the stiffer shaft, and all that stuff, I find myself had a real, not a hard time, but I had problems with distance control with that putter more than anything else. Either leaving it really short or literally hitting it 8 to 10 feet by. And again, they were all played about the same. Obviously, I played the Lab the most, but the EvenRoll was neck and neck with the Lab regarding really all the aspects. I would say the only thing I didn't love about the EvenRoll, I didn't love, it feels light, definitely between you play the 11 long and then the Lab. It just feels, the EvenRoll feels much lighter, not as soft, a little crisper. So if you want a little more sharpness of a feel, I'd say that one was good. And the Scotty Cameron was kind of in between both. And so it was not as soft as the Lab, not as hard, let's say, as the EvenRoll, but again, was really, really good and has been really good on short putts, but to me, not as good as the Lab. The Lab to me is just such an easy to use putter and has so much forgiveness built in it when you play with it. It's just so good. So the test was interesting. And again, when I've played them, you know, the Lab is the one I probably use the most now because I've had such great rounds and experience with it. I think the aesthetics, I like the EvenRoll the most. And the Scotty Cameron 11 long was, again, I thought was going to be the magic wand at the end of this year and just really didn't do it for me. And again, I played, we had a 38-inch one that we had made to 37, so it didn't hit my belt buckle when we played. But really, so those are the stats. As you guys saw, you know, the best overall I think is the Lab, and then literally I think the EvenRoll in third place, which is not a bad place to be, is the Scotty Cameron. Although that one was the best for short putts during the test. When I play it, and this is what I mean by the difference between testing and playing, I missed more putts with the Scotty Cameron than I did the Lab or the EvenRoll. So during the test, it did real well. True life playing, it was probably the weakest of the bunch for me. I pulled everything and pushed everything. There was nothing, I don't know if it was the mass size of the head. I don't know what it was. But anyway, so for all those people who are wondering, like, really what's true life experiences with really those three, if I was to get one, If you had to put a gun to my head, which one would I pick? It'd be tough. Between the Lab and EvenRoll, and then Scotty's kind of, I don't want to say distance third, but third. I love the aesthetics of the EvenRoll, but the Lab just makes a ton of putts. And again, I know Lab is coming out with a little more modern looking version, and I don't mean over the top modern, but a little more normal. I may even try to get refit again with the new one when it comes out, and then also trying to test the Mez and the Mez Max again to see, like, does that help me a little bit more. But long story short, wanted to give you guys the information of testing these, what we thought, what I liked, the results, how awful of a putter I am, and really that's about it. So if you're new here, please like, please subscribe. If there's anything else you guys want to see, let us know. But again, I just wanted to kind of get this test information out to you guys. So we'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.